Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. What I used to be, I'm not used to be. Huh? Absolutely, absolutely. I got a special guest here with me, you guys. So it's going down like a Picasso. It's going down today. Look at my notes. I already, look, this is already, I'm not playing with this. I'm not what I used to be. Okay, whichever mic you want to grab, and you can lift your seat up if you need me. Okay. Going to be a masterpiece. Your dirt. Okay. So you're on yellow. So this probably is on your plate. That hurts. Hey! Well, God does it, man. God does it. Real talk.
Yes, he does. Thank God for that.
Yes. Okay, can you hear it in your ear? Okay, awesome. So his mind's running on the short. It's gonna be a masterpiece. It's gonna be a masterpiece.
Ain't that the truth?
I love the Lord. It's something I don't even know how to contain this thing. When you just overflowing with it, you know. And he just God loves me even more and more than what I thought that I could be ever loved. Does that make sense?
It does.
It's like it,
and I understand that.
Yeah.
You just got to go with it.
Like right now, I'm overflowing.
Yes. Just embrace it and just let God take it.
Yes.
You can never go wrong.
Can ever go wrong. You know what? I saw your Oh wait, I'll get to talking because now that I have you here, I'll get to talking. I got the Facebook Live. Good morning, Johnny. Good morning. Okay, let me see. I'm trying to go Swagg on. I mean the live on the what is it? On Facebook? the Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried it last week. I said, look, this is my tester. So if I mess up, it's a tester. Okay. I warned everybody. I'm like, don't act like I didn't warn you. All right, you guys, look. Those are on Facebook listening to me right now. Let me tell you, I'm doing a giveaway. I am doing a giveaway. What's up, Instagram? I'm your girl doing a giveaway. Let me tell you what I'm giving away. Hey! Let me tell you what I'm giving away. God is so good. Y'all like my shirt? I try to come in here as often as I can wearing my brand because I am my brand. Does that make sense? I'm branded. I'm branding me. So, last week, I'm going to go on live and I'm going to tell this on the radio as well because last week I said we was going to do an assignment. And if those that were watching and listening from Support District Radio, my radio Phoenix, if you was listening, you would know the key word for the week, what it was. If you was not listening, you won't know the word. So there was an because I was going to do it too. It was a challenge to do, but it was set forth. I set it forth. That's what I did. So let me tell you guys what I'm giving away today. It's summertime coming, hunties. Listen, fellas, I'm going to catch up with you, but I'm going to do you even better. Look, y'all, look, you see that? I'm giving away this Swagg On Heaven tank top. You see it? Don't act like you don't see it. Summertime is coming. Fellas, you might want to give this to your young lady or a daughter or whoever you want to give this to, but I'm giving away a Swagg On Heaven. Look, I'm branding me, so I'm branding whoever this is. Nice. So you'll get this shirt right here. Hold on, let me go live on the air. Hey everybody, welcome. Good morning, everyone. It's your girl, Debbie Gentry, Debbie G as they call me. Y'all, I got titled Debbie G. I like it so much. Yeah, but your girl is live right now, you guys. You're listening to Swagg On Heaven. You guys, I got a few things going down today. I am giving away. Last week I asked if you guys were listening to the show, and if you were on the Facebook or either on the radio, you were listening. I asked everyone to do an assignment, and I was going to do an assignment as well. And I want you guys to tell me what that assignment was. The first person that can tell me what the assignment was that you were supposed to do for the week will get a Swagg On Heaven tank top. If you are listening to me or watching me on Facebook, you'll notice that every Sunday I come in, I wear a Swagg On Heaven shirt. And that's because I'm wearing my brand. It's my brand. So I'm wearing it. So I am giving away a Swagg On Heaven tank top. Now, fellas, you could give this to your ladies. You could give this to whoever. But summertime is coming. So I figured, let me help get y'all equipped. Let me equip you all with the Swagg On Heaven tank top. So I'm giving that away. I am giving that away to the first person that can tell me what the assignment was. What were you supposed to do, and what were you supposed to keep with you the entire week, and what were you supposed to spread? Okay, so if you get the first person that can tell me that, will get this tank top. Should I go with the first person, or should I go with the first person? Okay, the first person. Okay, my guest that's in the building with me is Mr. Tyrone ParkeR. You guys, the book, I read this book right here. I feel like I graduated. This book is called The Mental Gymnastic of Dating, you guys. This book here is awesome. I enjoy reading. I'm a bit of a nerd. Don't let the swag fool you. So even if you're listening to the show on Support District Radio, look, log on to Swagg On Heaven. That's SWAGG On Heaven on Facebook, and you can join us, and you can see the tank top. You can watch the behind the scenes of the interview, and also you can join in with us. Okay, this is a tank top. Listen. This is the tank top, Swagg On Heaven, that the first person that can tell me what the assignment was, and I know some of you all are cheating. I know you're cheating. It's okay, because that'll tell me you're doing research and you with me on this. So, hey, if the first person that can tell me, because summertime is coming and I wanted to get you guys a fresh start. Springtime is just around the corner, Easter, whatever. But this is an official Swagg On Heaven tank top. As you know, every Sunday I come in, I wear a Swagg On Heaven shirt, tank, whatever. I wear it. I love it. It's the brand that I am. So it's who I am, Swagg On Heaven. So I'm going to give this to you, especially you're a loyal listener too, and you're loyal to watching the videos and so forth. Why not share? So that's what I want to do. I want to share today. Okay. So we're going to listen to one more song, and I'm going to come back with my guest, you guys. He's in the building with me. He is Mr. Tyrone ParkeR. We getting deep in this book, you guys. I asked you guys to get the book. If you didn't get the book, then I'm sorry. You just have to get it when after we doing this, because the interview is going live. All right, here we go.
like your selection.
You like that? Thank you. I did this for you.
Sexy. Yeah, I like to keep it sexy.
I need to let people know that you can't, with your Swagg On Heaven, you can become sensual.
Yes.
You don't, because everybody put everybody in a box.
They do.
And I'm not in a box. I'm not in a box kind of person.
Good. Don't ever put in a box. It'll limit your possibilities.
Yeah, I don't want to. So I figured, people can they can listen to what they can be themselves, because it's about a personal relationship with God and just and with you, and God want us to be uniquely, because we are uniquely designed.
Absolutely.
Does it make sense?
People gotta walk in that and own that.
Yeah.
And
So
you just set the tone here.
Thank you.
Real nice.
Thank you so much. That's awesome. Yeah, but I was like, wait a minute, this guy here, I love the way you're writing of your book. I love it.
Okay.
I love it. I love it. Like, for me, being single and so forth and so on, and learning how to do this thing right, because I made some mistakes along the way. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay. We all have.
But I'm figuring, this time I'm gonna do it right, and I was like,
well, and see, the book was a blueprint.
It is exactly what it is.
It took me years to write this book, and it was a real thick book, and I was told that that's too much. You're going to lose people. Bring it down. So I brought it down. And
Oops. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And I used my own experience, and then I had, I think, 101 of my family and friends. They didn't know I was researching this book and doing a study with them. But I used real life experiences.
Wow.
This isn't something made up. This is real life stuff. Now I took the names out to protect the innocent, but it is a very effective book if you follow this. And again,
you know what,
Tyrone? This is just research.
You did not only see. We having an interview now. Oh man, see, I'm after this song right here, because this song is very beautiful.
This is a beautiful song.
Yes, and I wanted you hit keynotes and went straight to it.
Yeah. Right.
You didn't duck, dodge, nothing. You just went straight.
And see, it applies to me even as a married man, because it's like, ooh, Tyrone, you gonna say that? Ooh, you exposing the game, player.
Yeah.
No, it's time out for that.
Yeah, it is. It is.
People are hurting, and people are looking for love and need love.
Yeah.
Give it to them in the raw.
Yeah, you better come on now. You better come through.
Yeah.
You better come through, because I was like, I was stressed out on my couch.
Okay.
I had my lights on. I had my jazz music playing. I was like,
yeah. I'm looking at the book. You read that book. I don't think I've ever seen anybody go through the book like, man, Debbie, you read that book. Bless your heart. Oh, my goodness.
I'm trying to do it the right way, because I figured that it's for me. And then whoever God bless in my life to come into my life, I would at least have a little bit more knowledge than what I've had in previous.
Yes.
And you only live once, so I'm gonna give this the best that I can.
Let's try something different.
Yeah, even if it don't turn out the way that I would want it to be, but at least within me, I'm gonna give it the best that I can.
The best you can.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I was like, oh, look, my pen is still.
I mean, you read that thing. You read that thing, and that's beautiful, because that's why I wrote the book, to really help people, help myself, my family, my friends.
Well, I gotta turn this around, because everybody like looking at me like, who is she talking to? So let me see if I can. Let me see. There he is, y'all. There he is. That is Mr. Tyrone ParkeR. Mr. Tyrone ParkeR is in the building, okay? Somebody say something. Let me see if I don't know how to turn it around here on. Let me see. Look at me. I even did the Instagram. Y'all better come through. Y'all see me. Look at me. I'm coming.
Okay.
Look at me. Double play. Yeah, so I was like, this book, okay, here we go. We're going live. Okay, let's see. All right, you guys, all right. We are back up in the building with Mr. Tyrone ParkeR. Hello, Mr. Tyrone ParkeR. How are you?
Good morning, Miss Debbie Gentry. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate you.
My pleasure.
It's so awesome. We were sitting up there on the Facebook talking about, what we have going on with this book of yours.
Yes.
My God, you guys, my God. Let me show you the book. Can you see the book? Look at that. The mental gymnastics of dating. That's what we're talking about today. The mental gymnastics of dating. I'm telling you, this book shocked and amazed me. Drew me in and kept me there. From the beginning to the end.
Thank you.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Well, that's why I wrote it. Thank you for those compliments.
Oh, no. They are truth. It's truth. And I read this book. I met you at the
BBIP picnic.
Yeah,
for
the Kings and Queens. Yeah, I came through, and I saw you, and you was like, "Look, Debbie, don't you leave." And
That's
I'm
right.
like,
That's right.
I'm not going nowhere. I'm gonna stay right here. I was like, I want me a book because you have several books, right?
Yeah, I have several books. Baby Daddy Parenting, Jew Nasty, The Simplicity of Sex, Blended Family.
Y'all know I wasn't gonna bring that book on air. Y'all know I had to stick when I saw the books because you are so. Oh, you have them? Bring them? Yeah,
Okay.
sure, absolutely. Grab them. Look, now the book that I chose. Let me see here. Now I got to make sure. Can y'all see me? Because I'm doing some maneuvering. Let's see here now. Oh, there we go. Look at that. There we go. Okay, watch me. Let's see. There we go. All right. So I when I met you, I was like, my God, you had several books and you were telling me about them and you gave me a choice of which book I could choose.
I did.
So I was like, wait a minute, this book right here is right up my alley. I need this one right here. This book right here is exactly where I am, especially since I'm single and I'm trying to learn how to do this thing right. So we were like, wait a minute. You was like, Debbie, don't go to where. I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. You went to the car, grabbed the book.
and almost drove through the front gate.
For real. It was so nice to meet you. And I took this book home. Y'all, I got my book. I was not playing with this book. So what made you write this book?
That's a good question. When I was looking at my family and friends and they were going through relationships and things like that, I was hurting for them. They were hurting.
I'm going to speak through this way right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. They were hurting. Am I
a
clear?
little bit. Yeah, we want to see your gorgeous face, your beautiful, handsome face.
Okay.
We want to see that.
Okay.
Okay.
And so when I started looking at family and friends and coworkers and neighbors, I said, boy, what is going on here? And so I put pen to paper. And really it was just a draft just to say, okay, let's see if I can try to figure out what this dating thing is all about.
Woo.
And then what it did was it forced me, let me back up for a second. When you are in connection with the Spirit and you are obedient to the Spirit, you have to follow that. And so I began to say, you know what? If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it the right way.
Right.
And so I started doing the research. And then from the research is when I came up with the mental gymnastics of dating. Because I said, you know what? Oh, it's some serious gymnastics going on here.
I was going to say, how did you come up with that particular name? Because that name in itself stands out.
Well, thank you. So if you're dating, you're going to do a lot of backwards flips, twists and turns, and dips and turns. And it's the gymnastics. It's the mental gymnastics. Because anyone that has dated would say, you know what? I was expecting this and I thought this, but I've got to go back and do this, that, and the other. And so you find yourself going up, down, backwards, sideways, this, that, and the other, just trying to figure out the other individual. And then from that, you start questioning yourself. You say, well, wait a minute, what am I doing wrong here? Well, why can't I find love the way I expect it to be loved?
Right.
And so you have to go back and start to correct some of the mistakes you've made in the past.
All right.
And that's where we get into the mental gymnastics of dating.
Wow. That's awesome. That is truly awesome. As you can see from my book, I need you all to look at this right here. I was not playing. I was studying. Look, I was not playing with my book. I was truly studying my book. Look, so I have questions, and I want to know, a lot of things. Good morning, everyone from that's listening live on Support District Radio, and good morning from Instagram, and good morning to Facebook. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Before I go into my book, I want you guys to know I did a thing last week. I'm giving away a Swagg On Heaven tank top. So if you could tell me what it was this week, what you were supposed to learn and apply to your life, and what you were supposed to share, if you could tell me that, the first person that could give me that, what you were supposed to do, it's one word. It's one word. I'm giving you a hint. It's one word. I will give you this so you can get your game on for the summer. Swagg On Heaven style. Okay. Now, this book right here, I was like, and I still have my ink pen in my book.
I see. Well, let me tell your listeners, if you guys can see this book, Debbie worked this book like a calculus class. I mean, my goodness.
I loved it. I enjoyed this book. I literally enjoyed this book because it was things that I should have known, but I didn't know. And then things that I didn't know that I was like, get out. I was like, oh my, okay, Debbie, you've been going about this thing the whole wrong. So I was like, okay. And then some of the things that you mentioned in here really touched my heart. Okay. Because it actually walks you through the dating, it actually walks you through your marriage. When you meet someone, when you're with them, when you have a committed relationship with them, however and then you have
the questions in the back. Yes.
Like 100 of these, 100 of these, 25 of these, 5 of these, and I'm like, my God! I was like, what? And oh man, the dating, the one that touched me the most, the dating problems. Okay. And the dating solutions. Okay. That I was on the couch, like I was laid down, relaxed on the couch. I had to sit up, listening to the jazz. I was chilled out at my home listening to this book. But then when I read this, I had to sit up, push my glasses further. Oh, matter of fact, I need my glasses. Push my glasses further on my face and like, girl, Tyrone done did this thing. So I want to get into. I don't even want to wait. I want to get into it. You talked about the dating with commitment and dating without commitment. What was that about? What brought that on? Okay,
so I interviewed over 100 of my family and friends. They were not aware of what I was doing, but I was asking some really interesting questions, trying to figure out this process of dating. From that research I realized people are dating without a commitment. And so what does that look like? Dating without a commitment looks like what they call whenever. No set time, no agenda. They just call morning, afternoon, or evening. Dating with a commitment there's more structure to it. I'm calling you in the morning. Good morning, honey. Have a good day. I'll talk to you later this evening. So people need to understand when you're dating, if you're dating with a commitment and without a commitment. Many times people don't realize that, but the facts don't lie. And if you're looking for a commitment, then the questions in the back of the book, there's 100 questions to ask before dating, there are 100 questions to ask while dating, and there are 100 questions to ask after dating. And the reason we have so many questions, Debbie, is that's the only way you're going to really figure out what you're dealing with. Right. People will lie. In the book, I talk about lying. There will be lots of lying in the beginning on both parts.
You also mentioned that I thought it was a bad thing that people send their representative before.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, and that blew me away when I was like, what does he mean by that? Why it's okay to send your representative?
It is in the beginning because you have to protect yourself initially. And I tell people when you're dating, your life is in danger. You have no idea who this person is across the table. And so you have to send a representative initially to say, okay, well, hold on, I want to block my heart before I just unveil myself to this individual. And so sending that individual is really for your protection. Now, after you've done that, after a few months, maybe, depending on how aggressive you are with the dating, you may then decide, okay, let me begin to close that barrier a little bit, and let me show who I really am slowly. So sending that representative, and we all talk about it.
Yeah, because we say, you know what? So many people send their representative. We look at it like it's a bad thing.
It is not a bad thing. That is actually a safe net for you. Now, at some point in time, the real you has to come out. It will come out.
Okay, but when you send your representative, is it considered lying about who you are, or how should you be as representative? I mean,
so you don't ever want to lie.
Are you just slow? Are you just
purposely lie? I should say. So what that looks like? Let's walk through this, Debbie.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Tyrone. I'm from Chicago originally.
Wait a minute, hold on. You from
Chi-Town.
I'm Chi-Town
too. Live Blue High School.
Inglewood
in the house. Absolutely.
Okay. Back on
So, hey, my name is Tyrone. I'm from Chicago. Just moved here to Phoenix, and I'm sort of in IT, just kind of filling myself out. Now, that's the truth, but it's not the whole truth.
Oh, okay.
So first of all, I'm married.
Okay.
First of all, I have children.
Okay.
Second of all, I work in IT, and I work a lot of hours. I don't have a lot of flexibility. So I just withheld a lot of that information.
So you
it's
just
not a lie.
Okay, so you're just divulging the basics.
Yeah, so I'm going to paint a picture to you that, this is a wonderful guy. Because I'm trying to get with you, right?
Right.
But I don't want to just play my whole hand with you. So I only tell a little bit. It's not a lie. It's just, again, we're dating without a commitment. Back. And you should.
Okay, I get it.
And you should.
I get
Don't play
it.
your whole hand up front.
Because me, I'd be like, I answer, if you ask me a question, I'm answering everything. Well,
again.
And I think that's why I make a lot of my mistakes at it. I think that's where I do it. Because to me, after reading this, you put it all on the table, then it's like, what's left to find out about?
Right. I mean, you give them everything, particularly with men. Now, if you give them everything up front, ain't nothing to work for.
Right.
And as a man, I will tell you, we don't want nothing easy.
Oh.
We really, I know you're going to hear brothers say, man, look, I just want to come by and hit it. Look, I'm out. Deuces. I got something else on the other side of town. They say that, but in all actuality, we were talking about God and how powerful and good God is.
Yes.
At the core of who we are as men, God didn't make us that way. We've become that way through experiences in the world. But at the end of the day, we want to do right. We want to be better. We want to show up in life better. But we've gotten off kilter. So here's where a woman comes in, particularly for a man, is to bring us back. Now, the challenge is going to be to receive it. Because the first thing you're going to hear is, don't tell me what to do. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm a grown man. I handle my own. You're going to hear that. But and I tell women, it's a delicate dance. Getting into the mental gymnastics. You've got to figure out a very kind, humble, soft way to communicate with your partner, your boyfriend, the guy you're kicking it with, husband, whoever. Because men, we have this testosterone thing going on. And you just ain't going to talk to me that way. Look, I'm a man. Baby, I get that. But the challenge becomes for women to use what God gave them. My grandmother would say, a woman can get a man to do anything she wants if she used what God gave her. And that ain't raising your voice. That ain't getting in his face. That ain't challenging him on every little thing. That ain't nicking and nagging. What that looks like is, baby, you look wonderful today. How did it go today at work? Well, it went real good. Well, I had some things I wanted to talk to you about. Maybe after dinner, get you a glass of wine, find out what he likes. And you have to set that stage with men. We really are very, very simple.
Right.
And so, but let me get back to the thing of the question.
No. You know what? Hey, Tyrone, would you just take your time and flow?
Okay, I will.
Because I love what you, like, listening to you is, and reading this book, I'm like, you're dropping jewels on us.
Okay.
We're picking up trinkets if you want to pick the trinkets up.
They're there.
Can I just be real?
Yes.
So I'm like, oh my God, yeah, take your time. Go ahead on that top. Go ahead, Mr. Tyrone ParkeR.
As the book states, in the beginning, we give an understanding. In anything you do, you want understanding.
Right.
And so I give statistics.
I
give quotes, and we talked about with the commitment and without a commitment. And so I give a one-to-one parallel so you can understand, okay, am I in a committed relationship or am I not? And those are facts. The numbers don't lie.
Right.
Then after that, we get into the process of dating. In the very first chapter, and this is extremely serious, Debbie, if you are 30 years of age or older, you've not seen a therapist, put the book down and make a call to a therapist.
You know what? That was one of the first things that you said to me when I met with you, and I was like, why did he say that to me? I mean, but I read it in the book, and please explain to the people why you say that.
So let me give you an analogy. If you break your ankle, Debbie, you have to go to a doctor. You're not going to call your mother. You're not going to call your girl, I broke my ankle. Oh, you got to go to a doctor. So you go to the doctor. The first thing that doctor's going to do is he wants an MRI. He wants to see how bad the damage is. Now that he has enough data to see how bad the break in your ankle is, then he repairs that by fixing the break. The next step is rehabilitation so that you can start walking properly again. Wow. That's the process. Dating is no different. You've had damage in your dating years, your 20s and stuff like that, meaning you've had breakups, you've had people cheat on you and lie on you. Maybe you lost a dog. Maybe you were in a car accident. Maybe you lost a loved one. You've had a lot of trauma by the time you're 30 years old. If you don't go get an MRI, then you go through your 30s and you're making mistakes and doing things. You're like, why can't I get this to work? Well, you never got an MRI. You have to figure out how bad the damage is. Now that you have the MRI and people can tell you, well, Tyrone, you're insecure. Insecure? Well, I looked at the MRI. I just sat down and talked with you for 6 weeks. You're insecure. And on top of that, you're suffering from daddy issues, and you need to get that fixed. And here's some solutions to help you with that.
We don't want to hear.
We don't. It's painful. We don't. People, the makeup of the human, we don't want to hear bad news. Right. We don't like it. The drama in us will take us there, but at the core again of who you are, we don't want to hear that. But in order to fix the problem, remember we have a broken ankle, and in order to fix that problem, Debbie, you have to get that MRI. So now that you have talked with the therapist, and he has told you or she has told you what's going on with you, okay. Now that she has told you what's going on with you, believe it. Don't argue with it. Don't fight it. Right. Because when that doctor told you your ankle was broken and here's the problem, you didn't tell him, no, it's the other side, doctor. You believed him. He's a professional. Right. So when you deal with these therapists and they're going to tell you some stuff that you don't want to hear. When I went to the therapist, Debbie, I sat there, I said, oh, this is some BS. No, that's not me. No. You know, I'm Church of God in Christ, went to college, a great family, never been in any trouble. No, that's not me. Right. And then I said, you know what? Tyrone, let's give it a try. Let's try this.
It started making a little sense.
It started making sense. But again, it's a painful process. But if you want to get to the other end of dating with some substance, you got to go through this. Right. And so now that we have done the MRI, now that I've told you what your problems are, now let's talk about rehabilitation. Right. Here's where the dating comes in. I tell people, if you're single, you should probably be dating 3 to 4 people. Like Well, Tyrone,
Whoa. What? For real, Tyrone, I was just going to say, I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people that likes a bit of stability. I don't think I could do the dating of 3 or 4 people.
Sure you can.
I can't.
Well, let's talk about it.
I can't.
So we're talking about dating, right? People think dating means we're having sex and I only see you. I'm only seeing you, Debbie.
Other people can do it. I just... And even my daughter, she said that to me. She said to me, one of my daughters said, "Well, Mom, how would you be able to find out if you spend your time with one person at a time in your life and say this person you're in a relationship for 10 years and this person 15 and this person 20? Then that means you only saw 3 people that you don't know." Yes. And me, I'm like, listen to me. Listen to me.
Your daughter's a wise lady.
She is. And me, I'm like, I Tyrone, I can't step out. I can't.
Let's walk through it, Daddy.
No. Okay, no.
you want to date Tyrone. So, okay, Tyrone, I call you up and say, Debbie, let's go out, get something to eat and have a cocktail or two. Okay, we go out on a very nice date. We like each other's energy. So, I like that, Tyrone. Let's try that again the following week. Okay, then you get a call, let's say, from Andre. Andre calls you and says, hey, Debbie, I met you at that picnic with the kings and queen things. Hey, I'd like to get together with you and go out for a little bit. There is absolutely no problem with you going out with Andre. Because what you're doing, you're single, remember?
Yeah.
And so you say, I'm just kind of feeling my oats. Look at it from a networking perspective. I tell people it doesn't always have to be about sex. As a matter of fact, in the book, take sex out of the equation.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Take sex out of the equation. Look at the person in front of you for who they are. Remember, they're going to send their representative. It's going to be lots of lying.
Okay.
In the beginning.
Okay.
But I give you questions to ask, and the questions are going to help you unpack who the person really is. Which means now, and I'm going to get back to the therapy thing, but now another characteristic begins to take place, Debbie. You got to be listening. Maya Angelou says, when people tell you who they are, believe them.
Believe them.
You got to listen. We're so caught up into the sexual thing. I mean, you're a very beautiful woman, and people I can see how people can get off track with you. Or most people say, oh, all I saw was this, that, and the other. But you gotta take sex out of the equation.
You're the first person that ever said that.
Oh, Debbie, you gorgeous, baby.
Oh, thank you.
For all your viewers that haven't seen you in person. But, you gotta turn on a listening ear. Because remember, now we're 30, 45, 50 years old, and we're single, and we're like, God, what am I doing wrong? Well, it was right in front of you. Listen, you have to learn to listen. My older brother and I were talking about this the other night. When people talk, listen, which means you do less talking and more listening. Mm-hmm. And then, remember, you're dating two people now. You got Tyrone last week. Andre just approached you. You're going to start dating him. Then you got Ronnie is going to meet you at Bashers, and he now wants to start dating you. He said, oh, I saw you the other day, and I've been meaning to catch up with you. Hey, would you like to go out sometime? Your answer is going to be yes. Because you got Tyrone last week, Andre coming up this week, and you got Ronnie over here down the road. Debbie, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
You know what it is? I think it's a part of, when you grew up in the church when you were younger and so forth and so on. And I think somehow I adapted that you're only supposed to see one person. And I've gone hold to that. I feel guilty if I want to, when I was younger in my teenage years, because I got married young. I was married for like 20-something years. Oh, wow. I got married twice. The second one I was abused for like 2.5 years, and I left him.
Okay.
But it's a lot to go along with that. That's why I'm going to take your advice and go see a therapist.
Absolutely.
Just to invest into me so that, not that anything's wrong with me, but as far as with the dating, I want to make sure what level I am of dating. So I've actually been taking this time. That's why I'm glad you gave this book, because it's a part of my growth within dating, and I want to make sure that I do this dating thing right this time.
Well, first you got to start by being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
And that's again where you go see the therapist.
Yeah.
There's the first chapter in the book. Now that you've done that, believe what they say, and Debbie, you have to start just dating different people.
It's a guilt.
and I'm always very careful when I'm about to say what I'm about to say. I grew up in the church as well, and I know the feeling you're talking about. When you feel guilty,
and I'm trying to break that because it's not about that's the religion part.
I get that.
Yeah, and I don't want to be that way.
I'll say this because I just want to be terribly honest with you. You're going to have to unlearn that. Yeah. You just got to let that go. That's
the reason I want to go to see the therapist to say that, you know what, it's okay to be able to date several people, to find that right one for you. I don't say perfect. Absolutely. I say right one for you.
It is. It's only perfect when it's perfect for you.
Yeah.
And you'll know that.
Yeah.
So you've got to, and the only way you're going to figure that out is, again, you're dating Tyrone here, Andre here, you got Ronnie. So you're technically dating 3 different people. No sex.
No sex.
Take sex off the table.
Don't bother me with that.
Don't bother me with that. Unless you feel like, you know what, I'm digging Andre here. Maybe I might want to go a little further with him. And that's perfectly fine. Remember, you're single. And then you're still dating Tyrone over here, and you got Ronnie over here. So you got 3 people that you're going back and forth. The mental gymnastics, right? Then at some point, maybe 3 months or so, and it varies from person to person, Debbie. At some point, you're going to start to have feelings for one of the 3 more than you do the other 2.
Right. Is it a point to where you have it for all 3 of them? There is. And then that's the tango. That's the tango we get into, right?
But remember, you've seen a therapist, and they've given you some information about yourself that's going on with you. You just mentioned you were married twice. I'm married. There's a lot that goes into a marriage.
Right.
Marriage can, if not done properly, can really mess you up.
Yeah.
Have you second guessing yourself.
Right. And 20-something years of being married and married young.
Oh, Jesus.
So when I came out of the 20-something year of marriage, I'm thinking like you got to be one person and set with that person. And so I started treating dating like marriage. Because I was used to the
that's
marriage.
All you knew.
Yeah.
That's all you knew.
Yeah. So I ended up locking myself into a relationship that was toxic. And so now I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not rushing into anything with anyone. I'm perfectly happy where I am. I mean, but we all want someone. You know, and right now, what God is showing me within me is revealing a greater me that I didn't even know existed within me. So I've been taking time to just be with me and happy with me.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So a lot of times people see my smile, and it's a joy that God gave to me that no one can take from me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you get into dating. 100 questions while dating. The very first question.
Oh,
get the book. It's at the back. It's 100 questions to ask while dating. Debbie, I'll let you tell us what the very first question is because you just touched on it.
Because I know it's something with God. Hold on. If I remember it correctly, let me say which one is it?
The very first question.
100 questions to ask for dating. Okay.
While dating. Not before or after.
Oh,
but
this is
while
after. Okay,
that's after.
Hold on. Let me get there. 100 questions while dating.
Yes. What's the very first question?
Do you have a personal relationship with God? Did you see I underlined that right there? Because I was like, yes!
Now, why is that important? Why did he put that in the book? What that got to do with dating? I'm trying to do my thing over here. I got a personal relationship with God, so what? But again, remember we talked about listening. Listening. So you ask these questions, then shut up. And people might lie, but if you're really in tune to the Spirit, remember we talked about that earlier.
Yes.
And so you're listening. It's like, I hear you, Tyrone. Yeah, keep talking, baby. The answers are there. People tell you who they are. We just have to listen. And that's a trained art. I'll tell you, because you got some guys out here and women out here, boy, they can really put on a good show for you. And you be like, wow. You know
what? I was just going to mention my program director. I was just about to mention him because you know what he said to me? He said to me, and it about made me cry because I had a small meeting with him. Okay. And he said, Debbie, he said, you basically tell it all. All you have to do is just be quiet and listen.
Just listen.
And I was like, what? You know what? He said, dating should be dating. You should never date expecting a proposal at the end of the night.
That's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
And that's why, Deb, it's okay for you to date Tyrone, Andre, and Ronnie. You're having fun. You know who you are. Listen, I'm just trying to figure things out here.
Right,
I don't know if I like him more or not like him, but it'll all reveal itself in time.
Right.
There are no shortcuts here.
Right.
Only in time.
Right.
And then you'll be able to, and remember, no one is perfect, but they're perfect for you.
Right.
And so you'll be able to say, you know what? I think I'm kind of digging Ronnie. Ronnie seems to really, when he talks to me, he looks me in my eye. He's a little bit more consistent. He remembers conversation.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
Because I'm a talker, so I need some. I have to balance out the two. I love when someone communicates with me, and that's what Irene said, effective communication. I love when someone can communicate with me, sharing their day, sharing their thoughts, sharing what they thought was funny. I love that because it allows me to engage because I'm a talker.
And it's genuine engagement.
Yes.
Because now you've heard me
Yeah.
last few conversations because you're reiterating things.
Yeah.
Whereas Tyrone over here, man, I did not tell Tyrone that I had to I had to take care of my daughter and I had to go over here.
Yeah.
And Friday wouldn't be available.
Yeah.
And Tyrone called me on Thursday. Hey, Debbie, let's go out Friday. Tyrone was not listening.
No. And then I like when you said something to them at one point, and they bring it back up and be like, hey, whatever happened to what? Woo!
Well,
you made me speechless. Like I'll shut it down for real. Be like, and if, especially if we on the phone, I got tears coming out of my eyes.
Yes. Listening. That's the key. So those questions are your tools to help you.
Yeah.
And people say, I'm not going to ask 100 questions. You don't ask all at once. This book is a reference guide. You can have this book for the rest of your life.
Woo, you think I'm not?
Because at some point in time, you just work your way down that list.
Yes.
Now, let's transition a little bit. 100 questions to ask before you start dating. What's the very first question?
Before I start dating, hold on.
Before you start dating.
Hold on. Let's see. Before I start dating, my first question.
Your listeners are listening, Debbie.
Y'all look. Let me tell you about this. You know what? When I saw this, I was like, wow. That question to ask.
It's tough.
Yeah. You people think that those 3 words that form a question is the easiest question, but it's the most challenging question, and
probably the most difficult.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the question is, who am I?
Who am I?
Who am I?
You can't, Debbie, effectively answer that question without some assistance.
Woo!
I mentioned a therapist earlier in the book about having a mentor or someone, an uncle or aunt that you admire and hold in high regard. That's going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You're going to need those people on your team. Because when you start to figure out, well, who am I? You're wondering why you can't get to first base with Tyrone, Andre, and Ronnie. Well, part of that reason, you don't even know who you are. Right. And when I ask that question, who am I? Some people to bring them to tears because it did for me. It's a question, Debbie, that you probably should have asked yourself years and years ago. But that's okay because we're here today. And in order to get to progress forward, you have to understand who you are. And
you know what I thought, and you correct me if I'm wrong. My thoughts was when I saw that as the first thing, and I had to stop and pause and I call myself God's biggest crybaby, so God already know I'm going to cry at the drop of a hat. But when I saw that, I began to reflect. Like so many people take on a persona of other people, and you lose yourself. Especially when you're in a relationship, you begin to lose who you are because you're trying to be who the person wants you to be.
They want you to
be. And you spoke about that in your book. Yes. Like remaining who you are.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Easier said than done. You've been married a long time.
Yeah.
When you get into a relationship, that's why it's the mental gymnastics. Because people will take you up, down, twist you around, left and right, under the bar, over the bar. And that's life. But you have to find a base where you say, you know what? Pause. Let me put this on the brakes on. This is going a different way here now. And I just need to pause for a minute and understand, wait a minute. Is this where I want to go? Because I'm getting outside of my character here. This is not who I am.
Right.
Or is it who you are? Because remember, when you find out who you are and you get away from that, you can easily come back. Because you know who you are. But if you don't know who you are, it's a moving target. It's hard to get back. And so you're going to go through things in a relationship. I'm married, and my wife and I go up and down from time to time. But I know who I am.
That's what you said to me when I first met you. You said, I'm able to be me.
I can be me. This book, I've lived, like I said, it took me a lifetime to write this book.
Yeah. And that's a special gift, because if you could be you within a relationship and just be you, and someone love who you are unconditionally, that's
powerful.
Yes.
That's powerful.
Yes.
And you have to own that.
Yes.
And then you walk in that unapologetically.
Yes.
And she could be who she is. My wife's a stepper. She likes to step. If you know anything about Chicago style stepping,
I know.
What I'm talking about. And it's a very intimate
I haven't had
dance.
anybody to step with me, because it's that dance that make you that puts you on a level with each other when you're doing it. So I haven't stepped in a minute.
They have a lot of stepping going on. We'll talk about that a little later.
Yeah, I'm talking about stepping in life as well, because that's what it helps you with.
It does.
And it's beautiful when you can find that connection.
Observation.
Yeah, you still have to do it in there.
I like how you do. Good observation. But in the example I wanted to use, my wife's a stepper, and she stepped with men. Their hands are usually all over her. Yeah. Not inappropriately, but if you're an unsecure man and you see your wife out there with this guy, he's got her wrapped up real tight, and spinning her around and catch, you got to be tight on your game. Yeah. So it don't bother me. Nice. Because I know who I am. Nice. I couldn't tell you what she gonna do with that brother when she get through dancing. I'm hopeful that she makes the right decision. Yes. But I don't know that. But her decision does not impact how I am. Wow. Because I've already answered those questions. And when you know who you are, and remember earlier we talked about being in tune with the Spirit. Right. And when you are in tune with the Spirit, and that's a process, you then can walk through life and says, you know what? I'm not going to worry about that job. Yeah. I know they just fired me last week, but you know what? I know where I'm going. Yes. I'm not going to worry about that relationship. Those 3 brothers I was dating, you know what? That was beautiful. I had a good time. Yeah. You know, Andre and Ryan, they're a lot of fun. But it didn't affect me one way or the other, because I know who I am. And that's why it's so important. The very first question is to unpack and define who you are. That may take you months. It may take you weeks. Everybody's different. But now, once you find out who you are, what's the second question, Debbie? Okay. What am I looking for in terms of a mate? Okay. So now I know who I am. Now what am I looking for? I want somebody aggressive in their career. Tall, dark, light, skinny, heavy. You know, someone with children, someone that just has a degree, that doesn't, you know. What am I looking for? What type of characteristics does he have? Does he manage money well? Is he family oriented? Because I have a big family, and if he don't get down with families, this ain't gonna work. So now I know what to look for. What's the third question? The third one is, what are 2 of my biggest faults? Okay, now we're getting back to you again, because as you start to share your life with another person, Debbie, let me let you know, you're not perfect. Right. I'm not perfect. Right. Quite frankly, I got a lot of issues. Maybe you got some, I don't know. But you have to then put 2 of your faults on the table and say, okay, what are my biggest faults here? And be honest with yourself. Just lay them out there. Just lay them out there. Tell them what it is that... Exactly. Because remember, you're dating with the possibility that, you know, is this my king? Now, remember earlier, we sent the representative. And remember I said over time, you start to drop some of that representative, and then the real you comes out. So you know what? I'm going to lay a couple of my faults on, just a couple, on the table, and then give him a genuine opportunity to react to that. Okay. Now that we've done that, then he too can start to reveal his true self. So now you got 2 people genuinely starting to understand each other. Okay, here's my question. My question. You lay that on the ground of your faults, okay, what you guys have. Does that then become a judgment battle to where they start seeing more faults within you, or how do you differentiate that to leave it like I'm gonna throw this on the table, it's for you to receive, that I'm not perfect and this is what I know that I have faults in? Good question. So remember, we've seen this. They've given us tools to help us. Remember the MRI we talked about? So now I know what's wrong with me. I've been corrected. Now I'm doing the rehabilitation. Now we progress forward in the process of dating. I know who I am. I know what I'm looking for. Now I can then share my thoughts because now I'm a more confident person. My moves are intended moves. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm not playing myself here. And remember, you're only going to give out a couple of issues here. Then you're giving that person an opportunity to react honestly. Because at this point, and again, it varies, I would say 2 to 4 months.
Okay.
Okay, 2 to 4 months.
Okay.
You're now starting to really jive. You've gone out on a few dates. Maybe you've had sex, maybe you haven't. But it's enough for you to continue with this person.
Okay, listen. Let me throw this out there. Let me make sure that people listen to me because I don't. To me, is you listening? Listen to me. Listen to me, people. I'm not. We're not condoning that you go have sex with multiple people. That's not what we're doing. What we're doing is we're all learning at the same time of how to date properly because, and this is I'm with Mr. Tyrone ParkeR, and this is, if you guys can see the book, The Mental Gymnastics of Dating. Okay, the mental gymnastics of dating. And this is, we're learning how to do it properly because we live in such a microwavable society that everybody's trying to do this, go fast pace at it. When no, you deserve to be able to take your time. You deserve to be able to find, live a happy life without all the chaotic, toxic things that we've put into our lives. So we're going to learn the proper way to do it. And I think Mr. Tyrone Davis is bringing it and he's letting us know. So listen, we're going to listen to some music and then we're going to come back. Okay. You guys, I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Okay. You like that music? Okay. We're going to listen to some music and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk some more with Mr. Tyrone ParkeR. Did I say Tyrone Davis?
I don't know.
Okay, I hope not. I didn't. Mr. Tyrone ParkeR.
It's all your show, Debbie.
I'm like, did I speak somebody into existence?
Although that's a good brother to be like, though. I mean, he's a very powerful individual, Tyrone Davis.
Who is he? Do I know?
Singer. Tyrone Davis, I don't want to say from the 70s.
What does he sing?
Soulful. I mean,
I'm from the 70s.
So he was in line with... a little bit before the Temptations.
What did he sing? Do you remember?
Oh, I don't know. I could probably Google it.
I'm going to Google it.
Oh, I know. Oh, yeah. I didn't know he did that.
Okay, somebody might know what we're talking about here, Mr. Tyrone Davis.
I couldn't call off anything, but he had a couple of great top 10 hits.
Really?
Tyrone Davis. Yes.
All right. Well, hey, I'm on to something now. All right, you guys, we're going to come back with you guys. Listen, this is your girl, Debbie Gentry, and you're listening to, they call me Debbie G. All right, Swagg on Heaven.
That was good, Debbie. Good. Good.
Right here on Support District Network, my Radio Phoenix. Thank you guys for joining us on Facebook and also Instagram. Give me one moment. Don't go anywhere because I need to give my guests something to drink. I didn't even get water.
Hey, you're listening to Swagg On Heaven with your girl, Debbie Gentry. Right here on Support.
Okay, thank you, darling.
Thank you. This is really good. I love this.
Good.
Bravo tip or pay. The simplest way to send and receive money from people without exchanging personal information. If you would like to tip Swagg On Heaven and be a blessing.
How long have you been doing this, Debbie?
I just started this year, this one here.
Oh, cool.
I don't know why I'm not hearing the music. You can hear the music? Okay, it must be buffering. Yeah, it's buffering. Like, oh my goodness. All right, how you guys? Thank you guys for not leaving me. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Okay, listen. We are, I don't know why this is not, it has to be buffering. It's buffering.
There it is.
That's Teacher Hatton right there. Woo! Yeah. You gotta sit back and count your blessings. You gotta name them one by one. Hey. Yeah, I've been, you know what? I just started Swagg On Heaven with the radio station, Support District Network, My Radio Phoenix, this year. So we're the baby of the company.
What made you get into this?
I used to be on radio a while back,
Okay,
and that was when I was
the personality.
Really? Thank you.
Absolutely.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest, and I'm throwing this out there on Facebook and Instagram as well. But anyway, when I used to do radio, this was in my marriage when I was like married for 20-something years.
Okay.
But when I got into the second marriage, like I said, I was in domestic violence for like 2.5 years, and I forgot a lot of stuff because I was beaten that bad.
Yeah.
And so it takes me a time to like catch up with it. I used to do like voiceovers. People would contact me and be like, "Can you?" Because I could do the different voices.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
So was this back in Chicago?
No, this was here.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I used to be on KXXT 1010 AM.
Okay.
Yeah, but then I was going by a different name, which was the New Gospel Connection. So,
okay.
And then I even went to like the Stella Awards, you know. And actually, yeah, I'm trying to get back into that. I connected up with them as well. So I'm waiting to get the feedback on that because I think I'm up here spilling my stuff.
Well, I was just
look, wait a minute, but I think that a lot of people has been thinking like one way when it comes to having your personal relationship with God, so they don't step outside of the box and just be them. They're them at home or whatever. So I was able to, when I was able to do radio, I loved it so much. But this time with it, I got a different swag.
Okay, here's the name.
Because I'm literally, this is literally me. Like, I'm just...
That's because it's natural.
Yes, yeah.
I was like, she's been doing this a long time. Or...
No.
Wow.
Well,
so
yeah.
Is your dream to make this a career in terms of like the
I have a
Jordan
lot.
show?
I have a lot that I want to do.
Okay.
And this is one of them. And this station is like my family.
Okay.
Like they surround me. Like and that I didn't have at the other radios. I didn't have that. I was like, you know, but this is so different. It's like it's refreshing. It's so I want to stay into radio. Okay. I also want to do voiceovers. I also want to do. There's a lot I actually want to get into acting because I think I can do it.
I think you can.
I remember one time I when I first started driving buses.
Okay.
I was driving buses and the way that I ended up driving buses was I was driving down the highway and the drive shaft flew up from under my car.
Oh, damn.
And I ended up having to, you can't say that on the radio. We're on Facebook.
Wow. I'm just envisioning that. I apologize.
No, but nothing happened because God shielded me. All I did was coast. And I was actually on my way to an event that I had put together. Okay. And from there I ended up riding a bus. And one time I got on the bus and I looked at the driver and I was like, I could do this. And he was like, you could do what? I said, I think I could drive this bus. He was like, are you a driver? And I was like, no, but I just feel like I could drive this bus. Wow. And he was like, are you kidding me? I was like, no, I'm serious. I feel it. And he was like, okay, if you serious, then here you go. And so he gave me the number. It just so happened a young lady at my church drove buses. So God connected us up, and next thing you know, I was driving a city bus here. I did Route 43, Route 67. Wow. And then I got into driving. Yeah, I got into driving school buses after that, and then charter buses.
Okay. So I saw you were on Facebook. You were driving a soccer team or something somewhere.
Oh, you really saying something.
You were like,
I'm such a character.
I just dropped off.
I'm such a character. Actually, Okay, I think we can come up out of here now. We did, and here we call the pigs. Hold on, all ready. All right. I love this song. Okay, so, let's see, what was it? What was your question again?
No, I was asking you about the soccer team and the bus.
Yes, we have a soccer team. Phoenix here has a soccer
team. I didn't know that.
My God, I was shocked as you. I was literally.
They any good?
Yes,
oh.
They are phenomenal. The head guy of the soccer. She gonna make me forget his name.
Okay. So you were taking them to a soccer.
I took them to Tucson to play. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Professional, yeah.
So it's a professional soccer team.
Yes, Phoenix Rising. Yeah.
Oh, see, I have heard of that.
Yeah.
I have heard of that. Phoenix Rising. Okay.
I was shocked. I pulled up, in the bus, and all I see is Phoenix Rising. And I asked the coach, I said, so just so I'm not driving strangers, who am I riding?
Right.
He said, never mind the fact that our name is everywhere, but we're Phoenix Rising.
Okay. Because you didn't know who they were. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
I had no idea. And I was like, they are phenomenal.
Wow.
Right.
So you do charter driving now. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you know what? I asked God. I said, Lord, look, I only traveled over the road, and normally I wouldn't even be here. I'll be out traveling.
Okay.
Going
charter.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I go from different states and so forth like that. Okay. And then once I got into being Miss Glendale, like I had to schedule Miss Glendale around my traveling.
Okay.
So, but I had told God in the beginning of this, I said, God, when you're ready to pull me off the road, I'm ready whenever you are. Okay. So I think I'm going through the transition. Okay. But I'm not really for sure, but there's a lot of doors open, like with the things that I'm passionate about, the doors are opening.
Well, see, when you walk in, again, obedient to the Spirit, and when you talk to the guy on the bus, he said, we can do this, you followed up, you were obedient, then God will create other things for you down the road. Uh-huh. But you walk into it and you just trust. Look, I don't know what I'm doing. I got the Miss Glendale over here. I'm off the road, God. I'm just trusting you. Yeah. You tell me where to go. And people say, well, how do you know when God's telling you? When you connected to the Spirit, He'll talk to you.
Yeah,
You'll hear Him loud and clear.
Absolutely.
And no question what you need to do. So that's beautiful. Wow.
But the thing about it is that I want to make sure I have... we always say we want to wait till we have our finances in order.
Man, please.
Yeah, and I'm like, Lord, I don't want to go with that. Because I feel like even with the career choice that I made to drive, that I would have thought that I would have been a lot further than what I am. So I'm like, God, is this not where I'm supposed to be? Like, am I not supposed to be doing this? So I'm like, I'm trying to throw myself into this because this is my opportunity to give God glory and praise. This is my outlet for this. So sometimes you'll see me on this radio and I'll be like, hey.
Well, there it is. So that's the connection there.
Yeah.
And then you did the Miss Glendale thing.
Yeah.
So you're still doing all the other stuff you want to do.
Yeah.
So it's working the way God needs it to work.
Yeah. So we're going to go back on air. All right, you guys, we are back. All right. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to Swagg On Heaven with your girl, Debbie G. And I am in the building with Mr. Tyrone ParkeR. Let's get him back on there. Yeah. There he is. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me,
Debbie. Thank you. We're talking about the mental gymnastics of dating.
Yes.
Yeah. When we offline, I forget that Facebook is watching us. They watching all my stuff.
So Facebook is still going. IG is still going too.
IG went out, so I'm gonna try to put them and get them back on here because I don't really know. Like I said, I'm still learning. So if IG get upset with me, can you go on there more than once?
I don't know, Debbie. I'm not technically savvy with social media.
I'm certainly going to see if I can do it.
Let's try it.
That's all we can do is try. It won't let me. You know what? I think that I could probably go through. Let's give Miss Glendale, because that was Swagg On Heaven on IG. So we're gonna do. I'm going live. Yeah, look at me. Would you just look at there? Look at there. Okay, IG. Okay. Look at that. Live on IG. Hey, everybody. This is your girl, Debbie Gentry. Debbie G, as they call me. Miss Glendale Plus America, what you guys are looking at on there. Hey, I'm in the building with Mr. Tyrone ParkeR. There's Mr. Tyrone ParkeR right there. All right. And also, we are talking about the mental gymnastics of dating. So, you guys, I've already been on. If you go to Miss... Swagg On Heaven Music. We've been sharing some stuff on there. And now on to the new page here, Miss Glendale. So we want to give you guys a little taste as well as to what Mr. ParkeR and Mr. Tyrone ParkeR and I are talking about. We're discussing about this dating thing, okay? So thank you guys for joining us, and we're going to get back to business. Wow, Tyrone. Mr. Tyrone ParkeR. Okay, because I'm kind of crooked there. There we go. That's nice. Okay. Now, what we were talking about, we left with some very good key points when it comes down to dating. I wanted to ask you, because I wrote all. You see me flipping through my book. I was taking notes left and right. Okay. Let's see. Develop that strong bond. Now, you talked about in preparing yourself to date.
Yes.
And you talked about through the tough times is where you develop that strong bond and love for one another. In detail, what were you talking about to be able to connect with people? How do you get that major connection if you're dating multiple people?
Yes. So at that point, you're preparing yourself to date, right? You are getting to know you through dating other people because different people bring out different things in you.
Oh.
And so, yes. And so you can connect on a spiritual level with person one, a person A. Then you connect on a different spiritual level with person B, and then on a different spiritual level with person C. And in those connections, you will be challenged. And so then you will be friends with person A for 20 years. Person B for 30 years, person C for who knows how long. And that bond, we live in a social media world, Debbie, and it is important that we begin to network and use our resources. So that's why it's more than dating. So you're going to develop this bond with person A, but you're going to be dating person C, and that's perfectly fine. But you're going to continue that bond because remember, we are adults. And we are mature, and we're all single, and we're just trying to understand where we're going on this journey of life. Everybody's journey is different. So when you connect in that bond, what I mean there is you're going to go through different things in the dating process with different people. That is a special bond. Embrace that. Don't look at that as, oh, well, I got too close to Tyrone over here, or I got too close to Andre, or I got too close to Ronnie. Stop that. That's life. God created that atmosphere and that space for you. Embrace that. But I still have a spiritual bond with a lot of the people that I have dated over the years. You can't turn that switch off like that.
I know. With me, with dealing with people, I have been able to where people I have dealt with can call me and be like, "Hey, how you doing?"
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And isn't that beautiful?
It is nice because it's like, dang, they thought about me, and I could carry on with a smile, you know, because that's nice.
And it's not about going back trying to rekindle the relationship or whatever that's going on there, but it's about a different connection on a different level. Remember, because we've done this therapy thing, we know who we are and where we're going. Now we have to raise the stakes a little bit. What are we doing here? We need each other. I need you. The community needs you. So we tried the dating thing. Maybe it's working, maybe it's not. But, excuse me, don't throw that away because the dating didn't work. Listen, I have a lot going on. We were talking offline about all the stuff that you have going on.
Yeah.
Well, maybe person A could be a resource there. But because the dating didn't work out, you want to cut it off altogether. No. embrace that experience and use it to your advantage. And they do the same with you.
And you know what? You spoke about that briefly in here. It says, as humans, we all require that one fundamental principle, and that's to understand and to be understood.
Yes.
And with me, I know when I have people, and I was speaking last week on air, that I actually give people invisible baskets.
Okay. Now, what's that?
It's a little thing that I do. I'll give them invisible baskets, and I say certain people, certain ones, not everyone, just certain ones. Okay. And I'll be like, here, you have an invisible basket, and you can fill that invisible basket whatever you want to. Okay. You can fill it with joy, happiness, lying, or whatever you fill it up with. But understand that later on, I'm going to come back and I'm going to grab that basket. I'm going to see what you filled it up with, and if whatever you filled it up with, I'm going to see what part you play in my life.
Okay.
Like where do you fit? I know it's corny, but it's me.
I don't think that's corny at all.
No,
I think that sets up for a great conversation.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about being understood. And as humans, those are two fundamental principles: is to be heard and to be understood.
Right.
Debbie, you don't have to agree with me, but I want you to hear me.
Right.
Just hear me. And then I just want you to understand me. You don't have to agree, but just understand what I'm saying to you.
Right.
And then if we can get those two fundamental principles together, then we can begin to progress forward, because now I feel like Debbie respects me. She took the time to listen to what I had to say, and she tried to understand as best she could. She may totally disagree with what I'm saying, and that's perfectly fine. But just understand me, because I need to be understood.
Right.
I need that. My soul needs that. I need to be heard. You can't put me in a box. I got to be heard.
You know what? If someone comes to me and speak with me on that level, that's where I want to be. Okay. Because I think that in my relationships, let me make sure you all hear what I'm saying here. In relationships that I've had, I had it to where people become a little bit abnormal when they're trying to explain themselves.
When you're losing me on that one.
You know how you just stated right now, you said you'll go to the person and you're like, you know what? This, you don't have to agree with me. Okay. You can. It's your choice to disagree with, but this is how I feel. Okay. I like that type of conversation.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Okay. I like when we could communicate, because to me that will take me even further in the relationship, because you're listening to me.
Yes.
I'm listening to you, and we're communicating. You know, and you're telling me what it is that you like, and you're telling me what it is that you don't like. And I can learn from there. Yes. But if you're at the top level here and you're like, barking and everything.
All the stuff down here.
Yeah, you're missing everything, because what you're focusing on is the things that you're saying. Okay, my phone just went off. That one just went off. They're stuck. Instagram is stuck there. I can't help Instagram alone is off. But it's like you're barking, and the things that you're beginning to bark about, we're missing the point of why we started the conversation. Because we study going here, and the basic level of us communicating and having that type of talk anyway is being left behind.
It's fading out. And so that's the thing, Debbie, those fundamental principles, to be heard and to be. There are certain characteristics that have to take place. One is listening. Listening is a strong characteristic that people need to perfect. And in listening is you try to, I call it effective communication.
Effective communication,
which means repeat back what I just said to you in your own words. What did you just hear? And if we can begin to do those things, now I feel better as a person, because man, Debbie took the time to really listen to what I said, and then she kind of reiterated it back to me. That makes me feel good as an individual. Now, understanding, and she didn't really agree with me, but she says, I understand where you're going, Tyrone. And with understanding is another characteristic that comes into play is compassion. It's just an authentic compassion. You know, just hear, I really hear what you're saying, Debbie. I had an aunt that went through that same thing. Man, I'll be praying for you. We all need that. And if you can get those two things from a conversation, you're on your way. Then it just progresses from there.
Wow, I love that. And I love this book here, which you're bringing to us right here. You already spoke about the first 6 months here. And one thing that you said about the first 6 months is that's why God gave us the thing called love. Love is the most powerful emotion there is, woman and man. Because when you love yourself, it makes it easier to love someone else. So when that fine woman crosses your path. Now, fellas, listen to me. I had to outline this for you all because I needed you to hear this. So as I'm reading, please pay close attention. Is this on? Pay attention to me. You said, so when that fine woman crosses your path at the grocery store, you can look, not gaze. You said, then go back to doing what you're doing because the love you have for yourself and the love you have for your lady make it just that easy.
Simple.
You know what? And this is why I was like, you bet, Mr. Tyrone ParkeR, would you just bring it? Because, you know, as summertime approaches us, springtime approaches us, you know, people begin to come out and look beautiful.
Yes.
And they've worked on themselves and so forth and so on. And during the wintertime, you've been with this person and loving on this person. And then you start to gazing you start to, you know, focusing your focus on someone else. Yeah. So when I was like, oh my God, he hit the key point right there. Like, if you love you and you love the person you say you would because you spent all that time stating that you love that person, that you want to be with that person. So you say. And then the summertime comes out, then all of a sudden your focus has changed.
Everything gone. So let's deal with that, Debbie.
Okay.
So, and I'll be very frank with you. When I first, to your listening audience, when I first met Debbie at the Kings and Queens picnic, the BBIP picnic just a few weeks ago, Debbie had on a green fitting dress, y'all.
Ah, you remember that?
I do remember that. I was like, oh my goodness. And I was able to look and then go back to being a gentleman.
Wow, praise God. Okay.
And how does it work like that? When you love yourself, because remember those questions we were asking earlier, who am I and what am I looking for? We've already answered those. Well, we hadn't gotten to it in the book yet because it's in the back, but you begin to understand who you are.
Right.
And then that thing about listening, hearing and being understood.
Right.
All of that conversation is building a stronger bond with my mate and I.
Yeah.
And then the second a beautiful black woman walks by with a green dress on, then I just lose everything.
Oh.
No, it doesn't work that way because I think I can look, smile, and go back to my wife over here.
Yeah.
And she could do the same.
Yeah.
See a brother over there. Was a lot of black men out there doing their thing. And I'm sure she saw several. But then she came right back to me.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's in life where we start to turn the page a little bit and says, you know what? I'm 50 years old. I have certain expectations in life. God is working with me. I don't want to disappoint him. And more importantly, I don't want to disappoint myself. Now we can operate on a different platform. Because when I saw Debbie at the picnic in that green fitting dress, sex didn't come to my mind.
Just who is she?
Well, who is she?
Who
exactly.
Is she? Yeah.
Well, who is it? Because you were standing in the position of you were somebody.
Wow.
And so I said, oh, wow, now who is she? Because we were leaving the picnic and you were kind of standing on the little road area. They were barbecuing right over there.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, she's somebody. I don't know. That's just the way you commanded the room.
Wow.
But when I saw you, it wasn't, sex didn't come to my mind. I wasn't trying to slide you a number or anything. We began to talk and network.
Yeah.
And that's when I talk about loving yourself.
Yeah.
Because I love me too much to let a beautiful black woman in a green dress just interrupt my entire life.
Wow, yeah. And sometimes people do that.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, sometimes people do that and they lose the focus. And then once they get off that, I call it the high.
Okay.
And once they get off the high, and they be like, well, oh man, I messed up with this person that I truly wanted to be in this relationship with, and they messed that up.
And it'll happen right before your eyes, before you even realize.
Yeah, yeah. With me, I'm gonna tell you. I listen. You guys, I kid you not, a tremendous tunnel vision. So when I'm out and about, I'm not really looking for anyone. Okay. I'm focused on so I don't really see it. So for a person to approach me, it would be a shocker to me. Because my whole brain is
a shocker?
Yeah, because I'm like when I go out to an event or something like that, I'm always thinking work.
Okay.
I'm always thinking, okay, who am I? Because I think that day I wore it was for the kings and the queens and the kids.
Queens and kids picnic.
Yeah. So I had on my Miss Glendale sash. So I just spoke with kids and I'm like, because kids will come up to me. Okay. And so my whole mental thoughts.
Well, I didn't see you in the space at that time.
I'm always, no matter what, because even today I have an event that I have to go to, and I'm always, the person that approached me, they have to approach me because I wouldn't know. Even if they came up to me and started talking to me, I still wouldn't put it together. I'd be thinking that it's something that have to do with networking. That's how I'll be thinking. It's work. Okay, they need to connect to me. Okay, what do they do? Okay, how can I fit this in? All of this is running through my head. That's probably why I'm single.
Well, not necessarily, Debbie, because now some of this onus is on the brothers. And what I mean by that is, if you see someone, for example, when I met my wife for the first time, I made it very clear that I was interested. Here's my car. Give me a call sometime. I'd like to go out with you. Unequivocally, she knew exactly what was going on.
Wow.
It wasn't about no networking. It was, I like you.
Yeah, you told her.
Yeah. And I just encourage brothers to do more of that, because what you just said, Debbie, I didn't know.
No,
I don't know. I'm out there doing my thing. I'm working. I'm networking. If somebody's interested in me, well, I surely didn't catch it.
No, I'll miss it every time.
Yeah, and that's not your fault, because I think as men, as brothers, we have to begin mature adult way of communicating. Says, hey, I'd like to go out with you. Here's my card. When you get some time, give me a call. I mean, make it very clear.
I think a lot of people would think that I'm in a relationship because I think I'm too focused. I don't know if I'm too focused. I don't think I'm too focused. But
I'm not sure what that is. That makes no sense to me, David. I don't know how you can be too focused.
Okay, but then I'm not too focused.
That makes no sense to me.
Okay, that's awesome. That's
Men
good
need
to
to step up.
Yeah.
If you like Debbie, you see her out and about and around town, then step up and say, you know what, Debbie, I've been watching you. I watch you on the radio. I see you on Facebook. Hey, listen, I just wanted to get together and go out and have a cocktail or something.
You know what? I
Speak on it.
I am one of the keynote speakers for for domestic violence divas doing for Beyond the Hurts.
Okay.
I am one of the keynote speakers. Okay. Yeah, for the bachelor's auction. I'm one of the. She's doing a bachelor's auction
today.
No.
Oh,
that's coming up pretty soon here.
Okay.
And I was like, should I bid or should I not bid?
What do you have to lose?
I've never bid.
What do you have to lose?
I don't know. And
let that church stuff go for a minute. I know you grew up coaching just like I did, Church of God in Christ. We're gonna put that aside for a minute, Daddy. Just put it aside. It'll be right there.
Oh my God. But yeah, let's see. I don't know if okay, there we go with the viewers. Okay. Yeah, okay. Hi everyone on Instagram. Hello. I'm here with Mr. Tyrone ParkeR, and we're talking about the mental gymnastic of dating. So we're going to be ending here pretty soon. Okay. So I want people to get your book and know what's going on here. But I have so many other questions. I got at least let me squeeze a few more. Okay. Because this book was so awesome. What about the sacrifices and changes?
Oh boy, you're gonna need both. So if you're make sacrifices for
sacrifices and changes, yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay, so let's deal with sacrifices first. So as you're progressing forward, now mind you, you're past the 6 months. Mm-hmm. Okay, you've been kicking it for a minute, right? Mm-hmm. There's going to have to be sacrifices. And what that looks like is work. If you're spending 40, 50 hours at work, maybe you cut that down some. Because now you're in a committed relationship. If you spend family time on the weekends, maybe you're going to have to sacrifice some of that because you now have a significant other over here. If you are working on your goals, and Debbie, you and I talked about 3 things you have going on.
That's only 3.
Yes, them just the 3 we talked about. And you may have to start making some sacrifices.
Well, you know what? I think I did because I've started to.
Okay.
Not that I haven't. I'm not done.
Okay.
But I've started to because I was traveling on the road so much, so I could be going on the road for like 13 days, 21 days,
wow.
5 days, 10 days, and a lot of times that's how I was doing my relationships. Like I could end up go to a hotel and drive into another state, get to the hotel by between 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning. And to me, that's when I start figuring like, okay, this person's not for me. Because if you're knowing that I'm out here driving that late, are you not concerned if I made it to the hotel or so forth and so on? So that's how I started. Like, oh, I don't think this person is for me. Okay. And then that's when I was getting into the conversation earlier about that. I said, well, God, when it's time for me to come up off the road, then I'll hear you. Allow me to hear you so that I can do that, so I can make that change. And that's why I think I'm in transition now. Because of my passion, and I believe that it's
starting to come together.
It's starting to come together, yeah.
Well, see, and so being on the road like that, those many days at a time, Debbie, you're going to have to make some sacrifices.
Well, I don't travel as much now. And I don't know if it's because tourist season hasn't started. but I haven't been traveling as much. That's why I've been here in the Valley. That's why, I'm with the radio station now, and I haven't been traveling as much. And so now my work is around this here.
This area.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is my pivotal point of where I'm starting to change things around this here because I love what I do here.
Okay, so let's talk about changes. Talked about sacrifice. Let's talk about changes. You're going to have to make some changes in how you go about your daily life. Meaning, if you get up in the morning, take a shower, get in the car, fight the traffic, go to work, get to work, do this, that, and the other. Maybe you can think about some changes. So you know what? Because now you have a significant other in your life. And so you know what?
Well, I personally don't have a significant other as of yet.
But you will. It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
But you're going to have to start to make those changes in terms of your expectations on, like you said, you're on the road and it's 2 in the morning and he hasn't called to check on you to see how his queen is doing in the middle of the night. The biggest change is a mental change. Give men, remember, men are slow and simple. I'm guilty of it myself. We mean well, but sometimes we just a little lax at it. So you're going to have to make some mental changes here. Don't get away from who you are as your character, but says, okay, now Tyrone okay, I'm on the road at 2 in the morning, he hadn't called. Let me give him the benefit of the doubt. So we're making a mental change here just to give him a chance to come up to speed. Because he's going to get there. When he gets there, it won't be any stopping him. It'll be beautiful. Is your home in terms of change? If you have children at home and you got this relationship over here, maybe you have to start to make some changes there in terms of, listen, mama going out Tuesday and then again on Thursday.
Well, my kids are grown.
So they're grown. So now that's even more time for you to start to really get yourself together in terms of a dating situation. So you make changes mentally in your home, in your life, your family, because you're on a different path. So sacrifices and changes, you're going to have to make some sacrifices and changes.
I like what you said right here in the book with the sacrifices and changes. You said through our various relationships, we developed some bad habits that have made us not so nice people at times. And you said we need to reverse that trend and get back to on the right track. So we might as well start now.
Right.
Keep the garment of change close to the vest, as it can be an opportunity that will make or break our relationship.
And the perfect example of that is drinking.
Yeah.
So if you go out with the boys and you drinking every weekend, this, that, and the other, now you have a lady in your life, you might want to change that behavior a little bit. Because you have gotten to the point where you're inebriated every night, every weekend. Now it's time for a change. You've drunk with the boys and drank with the boys many a time. You have a lady in your life, so you have to be prepared and ready to make that change on the fly. And then women can come and say, well, Tyrone, I was just hoping that maybe you just slow down on the drinking a little bit this weekend. Okay, I hear you, baby. That makes sense. Okay, I'm with you. Change. Then you're hanging out with your boys every weekend doing this, that, and the other, and I wanted to go to the hair show, and you says, well, baby, I can't go to the hair show because me and the boys going over here to smoke cigars. Brothers, listen, keep that garment of change close by. You know what, baby? I tell you what. Let's do it. Let's go to the hair show because I know you've been really wanting to go. Change. And it's a mental change. And then as you start to make those small steps, after a while, it's going to become real easy. Hey, baby, look, we got a weekend coming up. What you got going on? Well, what's on your mind? So then they start to forward think, whereas now it's reactive, and that's okay.
Okay, I love this. Okay, before we get ready to close out with this, I want to talk to our married couples really quick because sometimes they don't know that they can date their spouse.
Oh, absolutely. That's a beautiful thing, dating your spouse.
I remember it. And you gave them a few things that they could do. Okay, listen, married couple, would you just listen to me? Listen to me.
Thing with the finger, Debbie.
Listen to me. Listen to me, married couple. I need you to understand this, okay? This is where, you know what? And I say this because I've been approached by married men, and if I could, I told 2 wives already.
Okay.
Because I don't play that.
Yeah.
No, because a man that findeth the wife findeth a good thing. And
hallelujah.
If you guys have an open relationship, then that's something that's between you all, and you guys come in agreement with it, whatever. I'm just being, it's 2018, so I'm just speaking real. But if your wife don't know anything about that, and you're out here and doing all these extra activities, and you're not finding the love that you found with your spouse in the beginning, as you stated in the book, remember what happened when you guys were together?
Yeah.
I told you I've been reading.
The twinkle in the eye has faded. You don't get that twinkle anymore.
Yeah, and because you go through the different changes within your relationship. And you have to find that balance again to be able to love one and each other. Yeah. Absolutely. And I like what you mentioned in here. You said you can continue to do this at least the least inexpensive way.
Yes.
And you mentioned you can, some of this stuff is a little bit explicit to me. Yet, this is stuff you need to know because you're married. So this is a time when you are able to do whatever you want to do with your spouse. Your better time. Right. So if even for the married couple, it says you can role play, dress up, watch your mate flirt with someone else. Explain it. I underlined that because I was like, huh?
Okay. I'm married. Okay, so my wife and I go out. Let's see,
that's kind of nice. I don't know, but okay.
We always
on the level in which I'm thinking. But go ahead.
We were at Casablanca's in Scottsdale, and there was this one guy that he just was really taken by my wife.
Aww.
And so my wife is a very social person. She likes to dance and just really be on people and doing her thing. That's just who she is. That's part of understanding who she is. And so what I did, I faded to the left. I said, I'm going to go out back here and smoke a cigar. And I don't know what she was doing in there, but he sat down, he asked her, no, she asked him to dance. Remember, she likes to dance. So they danced and doing their thing, and then after that, he offered her a drink. And she said, well, no, I'm going to go back out here with my husband. But in that interim, they had some special time to talk and whatever. To me, that was harmless flirting. And then that made her feel good to know, you know what? I still got it. Everybody needs that. So that's the thing about harmless flirting.
Right.
You don't get a number. I'm not trying to grab you anywhere. You're not trying to grab me anywhere. I'm not making any promises to you.
Right.
I'm not making any commitments.
Right.
Harmless flirting.
Oh, I like that. And then you said, I don't even want to say this next
Lay it out there, Debbie.
I can't. I ain't gonna be able to do it. I just ain't gonna be able to do it because I can't. I can't. I just can't because let me tell you, because I don't understand this. Guess what?
Okay, lay it out there.
I can't.
Which one?
You say you gonna pick up the book and read it?
Let's see.
Because can I just they can read it in the book. How about that?
Okay.
Okay. You all want to know what it is? Then you get the book. Get the book. Get the book.
They don't know exactly.
Get the book. Okay. And then also you mentioned like write questions on pieces of papers, on a piece of paper that you may have for them.
Yes.
And you you said write questions on pieces of paper. And place them over the house, around the house. You said pray together.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You said light candles and sit there and not talk.
Don't say nothing.
You know what? You made me go all the way back in my 20-year of marriage. And I remember I used to do this. Mm-hmm. I remember I used to cut off all the lights, light candles for my husband and I, and sit in the middle of the floor and have music playing and just hold hands.
Don't say nothing.
Didn't say a word. Yeah. We either were looking each other straight in the eye, or either we had our eyes closed.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my God.
That's a form of meditation with your partner, and it's also a form of appreciating silence.
Yeah.
People sometimes,
you need that.
Silence can be awkward, but we've got to learn to appreciate and embrace silence.
Right.
No telephone, no television, no radio. And just sit there and just, you and your baby. And you just sit there, maybe you have a cocktail, maybe the candle is going. Yeah. And we just sit there.
Okay, Mary. Oh, I forgot y'all was on me because I should have put that whole camera on to my friend here, Mr. Tyrone ParkeR. But married couples, I need you to know that you can fall in love with each other again. You should try that. Like even today, I mean, if both of you guys are off work, I mean, and you can have complete silence. Be together with one another in your space and hold hands or sit there and be in silence. I think the more closer you are together with your couple, with each other, the more that connection you get.
It is. And you know one thing I do with my wife, Debbie, this may work for other people, it may not. Remember, and every guy will remember this. Remember when you first met that person and you were talking and flirting and macking and putting your A game
staying on the phone all night, falling asleep.
That conversation, Jesus Christ himself couldn't have interrupted you. I mean, you were here. I mean, in sync. So I always go back. When I tell my wife, I said, I tell my friends, I said, well, I'm getting ready to go home and talk to my wife like I just met her. And so and it's a funny thing. She gets kind of tickled with it. So I come in the house and I said, hey, baby, how you doing? I saw you over there just chilling and everything. I just wondered if I could get a dance or something. What you up to? So you talk to them like you just met them.
Wow.
Now, my wife is a little giggly with it, and that's just how she handles it. But for me, it just helps us to reignite that flame again.
That's beautiful.
And then, we just we just play it all the way out. Yeah. Well, no, I got somebody, so you need to go to the next girl. No, baby, I saw you sitting over here. I just, look, what is going to do for me to get you to go do this, that, and the other? So talk to your spouse like you just met them.
Right. I tell you what, and you have here... wait, we just talked about that one. Talk about your friends and their situations. Read to each other. Oh, my God! Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Right there. See, I'm giving away. I shouldn't be giving so much of me away. Man, someone reading to me.
And does it for you, Debbie?
Oh, my God. That in poetry.
Okay.
That in poetry because I'm a nerd. I'll be like, don't let the swag fool you because I'm really a nerd. Okay. But that in poetry. Okay. If I could.
See, my thing with that, I've written a lot of books.
Yeah.
So my wife gets to hear me read.
Wow.
And she's whenever we just did this book, I'm going to hold this book.
Wait, what is that? What is that? Let's show our read. What is that?
It's called The Dinner Date Etiquette for a Gentleman.
Ooh, okay.
So,
you just did your book reading. Yeah,
right, and it was from this book. But when I wrote this book and I self-published it, the first person I read it to was my wife. And since I went page to page and I just broke it down and read. And she just sat. Oh, she said, Well, she's my biggest critic. So she said, okay, I don't know about that one. You on something else over there. But, but the point of it is, it's an opportunity for us to share and connect. Yeah. And you just read it. I did this one here. This one's called Happiness. Uh-huh. This is a book I went through with my wife, and we talked about what is happiness? What does it look like? And I just read the book. And then in reading the book, we began to elaborate and go back and forth. And so reading in that book, The Mental Gymnastics of Dating, I said, read to your lady, or your lady read to your man. And it's an opportunity to connect on a different level. I tell you what, before I forget, let me just throw this out there. When I got my book, The Mental Gymnastics of Dating, I didn't get any signage. So you know what? I didn't think about that. We're going to fix that tonight. I just want to throw that out there. Yeah, I'm thinking, I didn't autograph Debbie's book. Yeah, I want my book. Okay. We're getting closer in our hour, and it's so much, you guys. This book is really fantastic. And I want to thank you for writing this book, but I want to talk some more. You said blindfold one another. Ooh, one of my favorites. Now we're talking to married couples now. You guys can enjoy each other, because to me when I read that about the blindfold, I'm thinking like, okay, so blindfold, feed something nice to eat. You can be able to love on one another. You can blindfold them, take them to a special place. Yes. So I was like, wow, that's beautiful. Like, that's beautiful. So, but let's go back as you put the blindfold on. To blindfold something, for someone to allow you to blindfold them. That's trust. That's trust. Yeah. That's trust. Yeah. So you're now exercising trust with your significant other. Yes. And if they're like, no. Different message they're sending. And after you blindfold them, then they willingly go and they trust you. They hold your hand tighter. A lot goes into blindfolding someone, and it's not necessarily sexual. A lot of it begins to build with the compassion of the relationship, because you trust them, and they got a good grip in your hand. They're taking you places. It's that touch emotion. And one of the things that I've done is, as you blindfold your significant other, I take them to the sink and just let water run on their hands. What does that do? Amazing things. Just because you're like, I mean, you can even try this one on your own. They like, yourself. Wait a minute, is Debbie really having this conversation? Debbie is really having this conversation, because we need to love one another, and you need to love the one you're with. Yeah, absolutely. Y'all married now. Yeah, y'all married now. Yeah. So Debbie wants to make sure that you guys have a successful relationship. Even at the time that I'm not in a relationship, but I love to see people in love. I love it. Isn't it a beautiful thing? It's beautiful. You can spot it a mile away. Yes. Oh, so I love it. I love beautiful. I love beauty. I love beauty. I love love. So when I see that, it inspires me that, you know what, my time is not yet here, but I have hope that it will come. And I can take notes from those that are loving each other, and I could be like, wow, well, maybe I could try this, or maybe I could try this. Yourself, and so it's in my invisible basket. Well, I like that invisible basket thing. But love is contagious. Yeah. And remember, it's one of the most powerful emotions we have. Yeah. And when you see that, and it's really authentic, and you can connect with it, then it starts to affect you, and you say, well, you know what? I'm going to get that. Yeah. I want that. Yeah. And then it plant seeds in your mind that I've got to do some things to get there. Yeah. Okay. So okay. Woo, I love this book. Okay. You talked about redecorating the house. Oh my goodness. If your living room and your house is one way and it's been that way for the last 10 years, switch that thing around. I'm telling you right now, I do it every few months. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to start on it today. It's such a wonderful feeling. It's such a wonderful feeling when you rearrange your home. It gives you a different feel. Like when you're rearranging it, yes, and especially when you walk out the house. Yeah.
And then you walk back in the house.
Like, wow.
Woo!
This is satisfaction.
Yes.
And these are simple things, Debbie, don't cost a dime.
Not a
but
dime
to
at
do
all.
this and just try it, you're like, wow. You begin to enjoy your home on a different level.
Mm-hmm.
And then I constantly do that. You know, like you say, every 3 to 6 months, just change the house around. Maybe you painting is a little bit more aggressive, but you buy a vase and you put it in the corner. You buy a frame. You can get them at Ross for $7.99. And put it on the wall, or put it over here, or take one thing that I always like to do is take a picture of my wife and I and get a really nice frame.
Really?
And you sit that on the countertop.
You know what? Here's the weirdest thing.
And switch them out.
Because I travel so much, well, now it's slowing down, but because I travel so much, I go from hotel to hotel. So I can stay at the Embassy Suite, Doubletree, or wherever my clients are staying, I can stay there. Okay. And I'm so familiar with the hotels, the nice hotels you go into, you stay. So I have no pictures of myself inside my home. I have pictures, and I'm always posting pictures of myself and of my family. But when you walk into my home, you don't know who lived there. So I was telling my daughter, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try something different, and I'm going to put some pictures up.
And take some really nice pictures, some glamour shots, and get some really nice frames, some really cheap frames, and then just place them all around your home. One of the other things I do, Debbie, I thought you were going to touch on it. We were talking about something else with the notes around the house. Yeah. You can go into my house right now, and what I do, because I used to do notes, but I upped my game.
What'd you do?
So what I do now, I bought a little red tube of lipstick, and I write on all the mirrors.
You do that?
I love you. Believe in yourself. Trust your decision. And then I switch them out. When the spirit hits me, I'm thinking of something else, I'll get the Windex, clean that lipstick off, and then I'll write something else on the mirror. So you see it every day.
Are you kidding me?
Absolutely.
Man, listen to me. Whoever it is that God has for me, you better step your game up.
Up your game, player.
Up your game. Up your game, because I like that. That's a nice suggestion. So please take heed to what we're being taught. Like, I'm single, but I figured that whoever he is, if he's thinking about approaching me now, then he's learning as I am.
Brothers, y'all approach Debbie, not on no radio stuff. He said, listen, I want to go out with you and have a cocktail. And then enjoy the day. But you got to be aggressive about it, brother.
Because, I'm serious as a heart attack. I won't get it.
No, because if you're like, oh, I'm really digging Debbie, you sitting over there talking to her for 20, 30 minutes, brother, you just wasted 15 minutes, man.
Talking about the radio.
You ain't talking about radio. Knowing good well you wasn't trying to hear no radio stuff. Say, listen, here's my card, here's my number. I'm going to call you next week and we're going to go out for some cocktails.
Oh, man. Well, you know what? On that note, I want to thank you for joining me, Mr. Tyrone ParkeR.
Oh, thank you, Debbie, for having me anytime you want.
How can they get in contact with you?
The web address is www.h2oandcompany.com. That's H2O like water, .com. Or you can email me at parker.consulting, traditional spelling, at hotmail.com. I'll hand deliver a book for you.
Wow. Are you available to speak at sensual partners for married couples to do a reading for
I do
them?
it all the time. I do seminars. I do women empowerment events. I do workshops. And I travel to do this as well. I do them for churches. Churches have this thing where on certain once a month they want to come in and talk to couples.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say. Like I'm trying to put their marriage back together. Yeah.
So I come in and talk about that using this book here.
Really?
Mental Gymnastics of Dating. So, yeah, I'm open for all of that.
Well, this is a part of my trinket in my basket because I'm glad I didn't miss this, and I'm glad you were able to share this with me at the Queens and Kids
barbecue picnic.
Yeah. So I was like, thank you so much. So I really want to thank you for joining me.
My pleasure.
And when we come back. I want to thank everybody for joining me. Now, listen, I told you guys at the beginning of this thing that I was giving away something. What I'm giving away, because summertime is coming, springtime is approaching us, and I would love to see someone with this shirt on, Swagg On Heaven. As you can see, I wear my Swagg On Heaven as well shirt. So I am giving away this, but you had to have known what it was that we talked about last week. I actually mentioned the key word. When will you be in Cali? They're asking. When will you be in California?
I don't have any events scheduled for California. So if someone wants to book me, let's talk.
Okay.
I was just at Pacific Coast Highway doing an event.
Really?
That was late last year.
Okay.
That's the last time I was in Cali.
Okay. Listen, you guys, hey, get it together. Get him out there, because you guys, there's more in the book that we did not discuss. I mean, there's a lot more in the book. And this book, from the first word, it when it say go, he went. So it's very informative to help you, your whoever, to develop a new improved you, and also in your marital relationship. Now, I also gave you guys the code word that I'm giving away, the Swagg On Heaven shirts, and I told you guys this week that we were going to get into that. But since we're out of time, I'm going to tell you guys what it was, because I guess we'll save it for next week. You guys have to pay attention, though. Because I'm like that. If I say we're doing something and you don't get it, you don't get it. So we're going to pass it on to next week. The code, the word that you guys were supposed to practice this week was joy. We talked about having joy and giving joy. That's what we talked about. And it was about you having your basket, and to be able to move forth with your jewels and trinkets, and see who all would be able to do that. And with you, to experience joy with you.
Oh, that's special.
Yeah. It's something new I'm trying. So either they're going to get that shirt, or either I'm going to create a new one. So we're going to do something different. I know for me, I put out on the Facebook, and I put out a prayer request. And I said, I'm asking all the prayer warriors for prayer. Okay. Do not ask any questions. And I saw people from across the world, not many, very little, but from across the world, jump like this. I'm praying. I'm done. Got you. Really? In there. Yeah, I was like,
wow.
And that to me showed me like the different people that I have on my Facebook are very special to me, because I'm very particular on who I choose to be on my Facebook. I don't know why I'm like that, but that's why I don't have thousands and thousands of people, because
your brand.
Yeah. Isn't that right? I like that. Yeah. So when I saw the ones that stepped up to say something, I was like, my God.
I like that concept.
Yeah. I was like, so I want to thank everyone out there that prayed, because when they prayed, immediately that prayer request was answered.
Wow.
Immediately. That's the fastest I've ever seen it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're doing this. That was just a one-time.
That was a one-time thing. Well, I do it often.
We consider doing that often.
Yeah.
Once a month, or I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful concept.
So this week was about them keeping joy no matter what happens or come your way, because challenges comes up and it challenges your joy. And you still have to maintain that joy. So you all didn't be able to get the Swagg On Heaven shirt. Now, but next week I'll put it out there, and I'm going to tell you guys that for next week, what I'm going to talk to you guys about, in order to get the shirt, listen to your girl very carefully. Listen to me. Would you just listen to me? So what we're going to talk about is, what do you think we should come up with? Yeah, Mr. Tyrone, for next week, Mr. Tyrone ParkeR, yes.
Oh, boy.
Happiness. Okay. That is how you need to be all week long. No matter what, you need to maintain that happiness, and you need to be able to give happiness to someone. Even whether they're whatever situation it is, you need to be able to share it. And next week, if you remember the word happiness, you may get this shirt, or you may get another one.
It's
okay?
hot.
That's the Swagg On Heaven tank top. I like you know, I'm always wearing my brand, so you'll get this for free, and I'll send it out to you wherever you are, okay? Because it would be nice to see people across the world saying they got their swag on heaven. Okay, so thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, Mr. Tyrone ParkeR.
Thank you, Miss Debbie Gentry. I had a ball. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very much welcome. You guys, I want to thank you so much for being a part of today. We're going to click off right now, and see you next week. Mwah.
Groovy.